Welcome back. You tuned into Inspired Afternoon with me, Mariam Mia. And you know what? I've been thinking about the importance of breathing, especially with people struggling to breathe or when the virus attacks your lungs and you have difficulty in breathing. And that got me to think, you know what? One of the ways in which we can be better prepared in terms of if we test positive is to get our body armed. It's a battle. The virus attacks us. It's going, our body is going into battle, and for us to come out stronger or successful from the other side, uh, it's important that we start preparing ourselves. And in this preparation, uh, not only whether we're going to be positive or not, it's a good way of life, and that's what my research led me to. Diaphragmatic breathing, or belly breathing, deep belly breathing. So our diaphragm is our main breathing muscle in our body. Research shows that if you use your diaphragm optimally, you can get up to 30% more oxygen to your body. It facilitates coughing, and it helps to drain the lymph and all air that is trapped in the basal lobes of the lung. If all air is out of the lung, it makes space for the new air that will help with shortness of breath. And basically, this is a technique that for us, probably that who don't go to the gym, who don't exercise regularly, and don't engage in deep breathing of your diaphragm. This is a technique I think we all should be starting to employ and learn. And also, the important thing is for me to know that you are breathing correctly, especially with diaphragmatic breathing. It's important to engage somebody who's studied this, who can guide you along the process in terms of different breathing techniques and help you. So, a holistic and a wellness instructor in terms of this to support you to see this, because it's, you know what, you could be doing it incorrectly, because when you read something, they say deep breathe and try, but where's the core? How do you reach the ends there of your breathing muscle? And I was so pleased in this research. I then it led me to Sister Shamsa Said, and Sister Shamsa is what I call a pioneer in terms of fitness and well-being and just normal general health. So Sister Shamsa is a and Sister Shamsa, this might be intimidating for everybody because she's a sixth Dan in black belt. So very experienced in terms of karate as well, in terms of her journey there. And I mean, to reach that level, it's a journey in terms of discipline, in terms of overall health. She's also a Pilates and a fitness coach, a life coach, and a workshop facilitator. And as I've mentioned, I said she's a pioneer because she's a wellness practitioner, and she's been doing what she loves and passionate about for over 20 years, well before I think health and fitness became the fed word and the buzzword around there. She's been guiding many people in the community, both men and women, in terms of their journey to health and wellness. So we are in good health hands when it comes to this type of breathing, and that's why I've invited her on the show to ask us in terms of guiding us for correct diaphragmatic breathing, theta brain exercise for upper body, as well as just cleansing ourselves and learning to breathe well, so that we are better equipped if we test positive. But also in terms of being a pioneer, Sister Shamsa is also revolutionary in terms of ideas in that, because she's been sharing her clients' journeys. Those that test positive, she's been doing one-on-one classes. So basically, from day one of isolation, so that by the time you hit day 6 or day 7, your body is better prepared. Your lungs have better breathing capacity. They are more elastic in terms of then being able to handle the onslaught. And then in terms of your breathing difficulties, inshallah, that would help your body because it's already trained. So we well prepared. So I liken it to a journey, a marathon. If you want to run a marathon, you need to train. You need to get your limbs moving. You need to get your muscles relaxed in it. So the thing is to be forearmed and prepared before we go into battle with being positive. In terms of COVID positive. So I'd like to welcome Sister Shamshat first to Salam Media and Inspired Afternoons. It's a real honor and privilege to meet somebody so accomplished in your field. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Shamsa.
Walaikum salam, Miriam. Nice to put a face to the WhatsApp messages, the phone calls. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, and yourself, and how are you keeping?
I'm well, thanks. Thank goodness. Yeah, doing okay.
So tell me, Alhamdulillah, yeah, I know you're doing okay in terms of the amazing community service you're doing in terms of guiding your clients. Like you say, isolation is a lonely time, and
Mm,
just you being there to calm people down, help them to breathe, because in essence, deep breathing also calms you down. It removes all your
mm,
negative energy, negative thoughts, and you just feel that good rush of oxygen and you feel rejuvenated. Am I correct in my
exactly.
assessment in terms of the
Exactly.
importance of breathing?
Yeah, yeah. The emotional aspect is as important as the physical aspect because being in isolation is a shock. I mean, we've all been in lockdown, we've all been in isolation, but then to be sick and be in isolation takes it to a different level. To have no contact with people, people outside of those that you may be in isolation with. So I think it's very distressing. It's very frightening. Um, so that's why I think Zoom has been fantastic. Like for me, for the work I do, it's really been amazing. Very grateful for Zoom to be able to work with people that I'm normally physically with, and to be able to connect with them on Zoom, and to have the same rapport, to create the same energy, and just to be together has been amazing. Yeah, so Zoom has been a lifesaver for me to connect with my people because
Alhamdulillah.
you set the bar very high for me, Miriam, in your
No, no.
introduction. But I've actually been doing this for over 30 years.
Mhm.
I've got people training with me 20 years, same people. With others, but my foundation are women who've been with me for 20 years. And unfortunately, practically all the women I teach have in some way or another, if not themselves personally, they have had family members infected with COVID. So it's quite scary. So I've been in touch with them on Zoom, and so I've approached working with them from a holistic approach: the mind, the body, and the spirit. It all goes together. So I think now it's trendy to say my ground zero person who had the COVID, was Zahira. I asked her, did she mind if I mentioned her name? And she said no, because she's also now helping people with her experience. So Zahira was working with me on Zoom with, our general fitness classes. She was actually my first lady to hook up with me on Zoom. And prior to being in lockdown, Zahira did attend my classes anyway, so she's quite fit. And so what happened was I got a message from Zahira to say the whole family is now in isolation, all tested positive. And to my amazement, Zahira said she'd like to continue her Zoom classes with me. So I was very impressed, a little bit daunted because nobody knows. No, it's all in uncertain territory. But of course, I said, yeah, that's fantastic. We'll continue to work. So for the entire time that Sierra was in isolation, through every day, COVID presents you with something different. And no matter how she was feeling, whether it was aches and pains, tiredness, headaches, coughing, she turned up for her class on time in her PJs. Nobody cares. It's just a matter of getting a person well. I mean, under these circumstances, no one's bothered about superficial things. You just want to help, and yeah, and so Zahira was inspirational to me. She inspired me. She was amazing, very resilient. She didn't give up. And what we did was, she basically sat on a Pilates ball. But you know, you don't need a Pilates ball. You can sit on a chair. And we worked for an hour, mostly working on the upper body. And we incorporated the deep breathing into our workout, because you can only do it for so many minutes. You couldn't spend an hour doing it. It's quite tiring. So with upper body workout and the deep breathing and some meditation, we got through the year's isolation period without missing a session. So she was my ground zero lady, and really inspirational. She inspired me. Yeah, I heard you talking earlier with the other ladies about it being a war. Well, if it was a war, Zahira became a soldier. She went to war and she conquered it. She did really well. So yeah.
So that's why I got you here to highlight the importance of upper body exercise, as well as
Mm,
breathing, Therapian exercises, as well as energy cleansing meditation as well, in terms of,
all of that.
because all of that, you need a healthy mind, and that's what I've come to realize. So since I've been hosting these programs, and as we're learning more about the virus and more, uh, the peak is here and more people are testing positive, and you hear from everybody's experiences, people need to be mentally alert in order to overcome this virus, and in terms of this, in prepare themselves in terms of breathing. That's why I've got you here, because you have experience in terms of deep breathing from your diaphragm, because that is one of your main breathing muscles that you have. And I think for all of us that people who don't have a normal fitness regimen, in terms of they exercise maybe thrice a week or maybe optimally every day, we don't know how to breathe. We all, I think, by far and large, majority of the population, we only breathe very shallowly, and that's why I think by day 7 or day 6 or day 7, our oxygen drops to less than 94 on the oximeter, and we need oxygen. Can we attribute that for we don't breathe correctly, or we have
Well,
not
I
trained
think
ourselves for deep breathing?
we generally we all are shallow breathers. To know how to breathe properly, look at a baby lying in a cot. Look at a sleeping baby. Only the baby's tummy moves up and down. Can you
You're so
visualize it
right.
now that I've like,
I
yeah,
can, and I'm just, it's like a light bulb. Yeah, you're so right.
yeah. It's the baby's not going. It's the baby's tummy is just gently going up and down, and the baby's tummy is round. So sometimes some of the ladies don't want to do the deep breathing because you have to push your stomach out. And most of the time we're trying to pull it in. But you don't do it the whole day. But it's a practice to strengthen the diaphragm. It's a muscle, and it's a practice to strengthen it. And when it contracts to its fullest, then it fills the lungs to capacity with oxygen. So it's a good idea not to wait until you're sick, because I mean you're weak yourself at that point. So there's 3 levels to this. Do it before you get sick, practice it whilst you're sick, and afterwards to get you back, because the virus is vicious in its attack. So yeah, it's all of a sudden we're all so much aware of how we breathe and oxygen. Everyone's talking about it. So
Oxygen is life.
yeah, So the diaphragmatic breathing is not difficult, really. You do it in stages, like you can do it to a count. And you can breathe in and you can push down and hold it in for a count of 4 and breathe it out for a count of 5. And you can build it up. You can, as you get better at it, you can hold it in for a count of 7 and breathe it out for 8 or 9. You exhale longer than you hold it in. So you put one hand on your so one hand goes on your chest.
So let's do this, Sister Shamsa. Can I be? Let's do an online class here with me. So, guys, let's show our listeners. Just show me what I need to do, and let's do the online class here. I'll be your student. I know I'm not in my jump clothes. I'm in my civilian clothes. But you said pajamas, anything goes now in COVID era. So let's try.
Anything goes. Nobody cares.
Right. Okay. So let's go. I take my right hand.
I beg your pardon?
Do I go with my right hand where you said I need to put my right hand online?
It doesn't matter which hand. Let me just say that in an ideal situation, it's better to do it lying down, but we can do it sitting.
Okay.
So you just place one hand on your chest.
Mm-hmm. Is this correct?
One hand below the rib cage, where the diaphragm is. The diaphragm is below the rib cage. So you breathe in and you push down. Push the stomach out, and the chest shouldn't move. So you push down, push the stomach out. You'll get a nice round stomach. Can you feel it? Hold it.
Yeah, lucky the cameras are not here, so the stomach is safe in terms of that. So it's not showing them. So, right.
And then
I push
very gently, just. You can press your tongue to the roof of your mouth if you like, as you exhale. But quite honestly, when somebody's sick, we can leave all those technicalities out of the question. You just breathe it in, keep the hand on the chest, just to make sure that you don't feel your chest moving. That's why you put your hand on your chest. The movement is the pushing out of the stomach against the hand on the stomach. So you breathe in and you push down. And just think of that baby lying in the cot. Think of that baby's tummy gently going in and out. So you can hold it. When you begin, you can hold it for a count of 2. You can exhale it for a count of 3. And as you feel better and more able, you can hold it for longer counts. So what you're doing is allowing the diaphragm to push the oxygen into the lungs. So did you find it difficult?
No, I found it refreshing just for that couple of seconds, and already I just feel revitalized. Just sitting here, I was, it's just 5 minutes left for the show. So it's normally the time when I hit a lull. But I just that couple of seconds, it's amazing what it did, because I just feel so full of energy and I feel revitalized. And this is just a couple of seconds. And you know what it told me, even if while we're in a break or something like that, just to feel refreshed, just sitting in the chair, if I can, just for a couple of seconds, if I do this, you feel energized as well. So really good benefits.
It sounds like, diaphragmatic breathing. It's simple. It's very simple. And the other thing that's very important, I think that people don't realize how important the posture is. Because if you're sitting like this, all these organs are restricted. They can't function properly. You're damaging them. So it's so easy, just as easy as it is to do the diaphragmatic breathing. I think people must become more aware, because the posture, you're opening up. Instead of doing this and restricting everything, you open up. You're opening up the airways, and you're giving your body a chance to be healthy.
Yes, I'm writing this down, and I shall ever be mindful of Sister Shamsa watching me when you do watch our Facebook Live broadcast, and she'll be saying, "Oh no, dear Mariam, you're not sitting correctly.
I know.
Please open up the shoulders and breathe properly and give yourself extra oxygen. And the best part, oxygen is free. So take as
Mm,
much as you want. There's no cost to
mm,
it. You just need to know how to inhale it
mm.
correctly to reach optimal levels.
In the days when we were able to go into coffee shops and restaurants, when I would go in, if some of my ladies were there, they would say, "Oh, here's Shamsa. We better sit up straight." Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna
it's
feel like
important.
that one now when I'm sitting here on my chair that you'd be watching me.
I watch people's posture all the time. And I mean, this is the band. It's a resistant band. So
Mm.
this is what I was doing with the ladies, just stretching this band across the chest, strengthening the muscles, the arms, the chest. Also easy, it's not difficult. And just, stretching it and just holding it for a count, another count, maybe to 8 to 10, and release it. Repeat it about 10 times on each side. And there is one, this one is also for the chest, where you open, close, close, open, sorry, like that. So, yeah. And then this was also very helpful. What I find is doing this, especially with Sahira, she started to cough up all the phlegm. So it was uncomfortable for her as we were doing it, but afterwards there was a lot of relief. Also with the
Yes,
diaphragmatic, yeah, with the
go
breathing
ahead.
technique, it can ease pain and de-stress you as well as strengthening the muscle. So,
And
there's
ideally,
many
Shamsa,
things.
in terms of a session, if you are isolating and you positive in terms of this, how long is a session? Because obviously, at some point you're going to feel weak, so it's not going to be. So how long about the duration in terms of this?
It's very flexible, and I work with people intuitively. There's no rule, especially if a person is not well. If your mother-in-law phones you in the middle of the session, it's okay. I'll wait. It's fine. It's to de-stress you. It's not to add stress into your life. You're at home, things happen. Maybe your pot of food is burning, So we just go with the flow. And the other important thing, I think I already said it, is the social side. So you're at home in isolation, like Zaira mentioned it to me one day. I asked her, "Are you okay?" She said, "No, I'm fine." Um, she said, "This is giving me some structure. I have an appointment." And that was important for her. Mm. And also
Yeah,
the
I love
connection.
that.
Mm.
Yes, I
The,
love that because you're sitting in isolation, you have no structure, time is at your disposal, there's no sense of urgency. So in terms of uh, your body going in that urgent mode and something in terms of feeling that way, there wasn't. And the fact that you there, so it satisfies that need for the social interaction with somebody. After you breathing, you're going to feel rejuvenated, you're going to feel a little better. And also, like you say, it's an appointment, so something, you have some sort of structure to your time. So Sister Shamsa, I've posted my producer Zakia has posted all your details if anybody would like to contact you for a Zoom session. So this is like you said, it's 3 stages. So before, and if you just want to learn positive breathing techniques, optimal, I rather say optimal breathing techniques,
mm.
we can contact you in terms of this, as well as
Well,
just release of energy.
if it's before
And then
while a
during,
person if it's before while a person is healthy, I would just say get fit and include this in your fitness regime.
yes,
I mean,
and
you're
then
not going
and
to
if
do
you
this.
haven't
You
No,
won't
but
do
if
this
you
for an
haven't been
hour.
exercising for a long time, I think this is a great start in terms
Yes,
of
yes, yes, yes,
getting there. And
yes.
then during COVID, so this is actually the important thing now, and the talking point now is uh, please, it's important in terms of giving yourself a better chance, a better fighting chance to become a soldier against the COVID virus. Uh, do some form of breathing, make it part of your routine. set a schedule where you're going to practice deep breathing, a bit of terra brain exercises, everything to keep the muscles flexible, especially before the
to keep
onslaught of upper respiratory
to keep
attack. Yes, you
and to keep the body flowing, to keep it moving.
the to keep it
Everything,
moving and flowing.
everything. Like on
Yes,
a good day, I can add in a leg. Move your leg today. Move your, move your arms, move your legs, because no part of the body stands on its own. It's all connected.
absolutely,
So we have
absolutely.
to
And
very
then
gently, very kindly, start to move it all.
thereafter. So Jazakallah for this. And like you say, it took a support and a connection with one of your long-standing friends and clients in terms of uh, seeing that, hey, you know what, I can reach out and help many more people during the period of isolation, the struggle, the mental struggle as well, going through the different days that you experience different severe symptoms and that. But you know, like you've reached out and you said this is your contribution that you could do in terms of helping somebody getting through, getting by, and
Yes,
coming
it's
out stronger and becoming a,
very,
a soldier.
very rewarding for anyone
I
who
can
can
imagine.
apply whatever skill they have. Everyone needs to apply it now. I think this crisis is making people be more creative, and come up with new ideas.
Yes, I love it. Creative in service of humanity. So, and just helping everybody out there. So, I love that we all very focused in terms of the humane side of ourselves, in what we can offer in a skill to make somebody's journey a lot more easier while they're isolating, while they're going through this a traumatic experience. In essence, it is for many. Jazakallah so much for your time, and it's such an honor to have spoken to you and met you,
Thank you
somebody
for
with your
having me.
wealth of expertise in this
Thank you very much.
field of wellness. Jazakallah, go well, and all the details there for all our listeners, all on all our social media platforms, on our Instagram page, Twitter, as well as Facebook. And this video will also be available on our YouTube platform as well. So please, if you want to rewatch this or show it to your family or friends, or even pass it down and share it to somebody you know that is isolating, do so. And until next week, Monday, I'll catch you on Inspired Afternoons. I thank you for the privilege of your time, and may the Almighty keep us all under His mercy and protection. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much,
warahmatullahi
and thank you for all your work. Thank you very much. Okay.
It's a pleasure. Ameen. Ameen.
Wow.
And that's it from me. Until next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings to all our listeners.